Back like we never left, this is Alex from Double Move Sports, and you're watching the Fantasy Film Room. We are back getting into the truth of the tape, putting together takes based on analytics and game film to help you win fantasy football titles. This year we have broken down Kenyon Drake, Ronald Jones, and Tyler Higbee to name a few, and we have many more to come, so if you haven't checked out those other videos, be sure to do so. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more fantasy football content all year long. Now let's get into it. Finding a stud wide receiver to give you massive points week after week is one of the keys to winning a fantasy football title. If you are taking a wide receiver in the first couple of rounds, it is important to draft a player that's not only safe, but has the upside to finish as the wide receiver one in all of fantasy football. This year, there is a wide receiver that has potential for 100 plus receptions, 1,200 plus yards, and 10 plus touchdowns, and much, much more. And he is not even the first wide receiver off the board in drafts. This player is Davante Adams of the Green Bay Packers. We all respect Davante Adams as one of the elite NFL wide receivers, but with haters saying that the Packers offense is dysfunctional or that Aaron Rodgers is declining, I think it is very important to take a step back and see exactly what happened with this team and specifically with Davante Adams last season. So Adams did miss time last year, but in the games he played, he was dominant as usual. He managed to finish as the PPR wide receiver 23 in just 12 games and put together a 16-game pace line of 111 receptions, 1,329 yards, and 7 touchdowns on a ridiculous 169 target pace. This line would have placed Adams as the wide receiver 2 if he would have been able to play all 16. Now, if this 169 target number sounds ridiculous, he actually did post exactly 169 targets back in 2018 while playing just 15 games. So there is a very realistic shot that Adams leads the NFL in targets this season. Now, while the stats check out for Adams, more importantly, we need to look at what the tape says. Even in a weird season where the Packers were more run-heavy than we are accustomed to, they continually drew up creative ways to get Adams the ball under Matt LaFleur, and Aaron Rodgers has not lost a thing in terms of accuracy. So this first play is one of the most creative plays I have seen on tape all offseason. Adams is lined up here on the very bottom of the screen, and the defense is showing man-to-man coverage on the Packers' trips left formation. The Packers start out the play by running what looks like a rub concept, so Adams is going to come in on the slant while the slot receiver breaks his route to the outside. Now this rub concept is commonly used to act as a screen on one of the defenders, leaving the primary receiver wide open against the man-to-man coverage. When the ball is snapped, we see both receivers break into their routes. The defenders see the rub coming and over-pursue where they think their receiver is going to go in order to avoid the screen. The actual play from the Green Bay Packers here is a fake rub concept with both receivers planting and going the other way. Adams is elite with his change of direction ability in his route tree, so he is able to quickly pivot away from the confused defenders and is wide open for Aaron Rodgers downfield. Rodgers makes the easy throw to Adams for the Packers touchdown. Now here's the play again from the back angle. You will not find an easier touchdown pass for Hall of Fame quarterback Aaron Rodgers, all thanks to Adams' elite route on a fantastic play design. Davante Adams has been a top fantasy producer year in and year out, and there is no reason to believe that is going to change in 2020. Over the past 4 seasons, he has finished as the wide receiver 11, wide receiver 8, wide receiver 1, and wide receiver 6 in PPR points per game. And with Aaron Rodgers throwing him the ball and virtually no competition for targets, Adams is a top 2 fantasy football wide receiver for me in 2020. Now, one thing that stood out to me while watching Adams' tape is that he requires minimal separation to make plays downfield. Adams doesn't have elite breakaway speed, but he is one of the best wide receivers I have ever watched at using his body and physicality to come up with contested catches and at adjusting to the ball in the air to make highlight reel plays. On multiple occasions, Rodgers threw dimes to Davante Adams, trusting his alpha wide receiver to come up with the catch downfield. Now this play here is a perfect example of how easy it is for the Packers to utilize Davante Adams in man-to-man coverage. Adams is lined up on the bottom of the screen here, and he is just going to run a simple go route. The Panthers are showing man-to-man coverage with safety help over the top, and Rodgers knows that Adams is going to win off the line of scrimmage. And as we see here, Adams does get a great release, and he throws his arm up in the air. Now, there is no more than a yard of separation between Adams and the defender here, and he already knows that he has him beat. Rodgers is staring him down as his first read after the play action, and recognizes that the safety is going to make a break towards Adams, leaving a tight window for Rodgers to place this football. He puts the ball in a perfect place for Adams to use his physicality and elite ball skills to make a play for a massive gain and a first down. Here we see a similar play from the Packers. Adams is lined up on the bottom of the screen, and he's just going to run a go route. The Eagles are playing man-to-man coverage with safety help over the top, and Rodgers recognizes the mismatch for Adams. He gets the ball out quickly here so the safety can't help in time, and Adams is able to make the routine catch and almost takes it for 6. Now, one of the most important factors in Adams' fantasy value is his ability as a red zone threat. After 3 straight seasons of double-digit touchdowns, Adams posted only 5 in his 12 games last season. The numbers tell us that the touchdown total should have actually been much higher for Adams in 2019. Adams recorded 12 receptions in the red zone last season, ranking 8th in the NFL, but he only converted 3 of those 12 receptions for touchdowns. The 25% rate in 2019 is exceptionally low when we look at just how productive he has been inside the 20 in his career. If we take the past 3 seasons prior to 2019, Adams converted a ridiculous 63% of his red zone receptions for touchdowns, leading me to believe that Adams is due for some positive regression in the touchdown category, especially when we look at the fact that Aaron Jones also punched in 14 touchdowns inside of the red zone last season on the ground. There are also some instances on tape where Rodgers and Adams should have converted on touchdowns, and this one here, we'll see Adams lined up on the left side of the formation against man-to-man coverage. He's going to come in motion to give him room to work on a quick out route as the primary target on the play. Adams is able to create separation from the defender per usual, and this is an easy touchdown if it is thrown towards the outside pylon. We see the throw come in behind Adams here, and while he still could have come down with the ball, the miss by Rodgers ultimately wipes away what should have been an easy touchdown. So between positive regressions on receptions he does make inside the 20, and also just some little things on tape that I saw where Adams could have actually had 2 or 3 more touchdowns in 2019, I think returning to double-digit touchdowns in 2020 is very reasonable for Davante Adams. As the primary receiver in Green Bay with no competition for targets, I also wouldn't be surprised to see him improve on the 30% target share he saw in games played last season. With more touchdown upside than any other wide receiver in the league and the potential for the most volume in the NFL, Davante Adams is a top 2 fantasy football wide receiver option this season with an extremely good chance to finish as the number 1 guy. Now guys, thanks again for watching. If you like the show, please hit that subscribe button. That is huge for us. A like is always appreciated as well if you really did enjoy this breakdown. If you have start-sit questions, dynasty questions, or want any trade advice, be sure to drop it in the comments down below and let us know who you want to see us break down next. Again, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Double Move Sports, and we'll see you next time.